Alright, boys. This is a vlog about, ECS. So, from E-League till ECS, we had 3 days to practice with Twist. So, we basically didn't really have a lot of time to, like, revamp or change anything. We kind of just updated on a couple things that we learned slash change with Cadian, um, prior to him coming back. Um, so yeah, anyways, we ended up only having 3 days, like I said. Not a lot of time to like revamp or anything. So kind of just decided to play our game, scrim a bit, get used to playing with Twist again because it's been like almost 2 weeks, maybe actually probably longer than 2 weeks, probably like almost 3 weeks of not playing with him. So just get some scrims in, get some games in, get used to playing with everyone again, and yeah, so that's basically what we did. Just practiced a bit. Um, Flew to ECS. Slept for like 5 hours on the plane. Probably woke up around like 11 a.m. their time. Stayed up all day. Went to sleep at around 11:30. Woke up at 9 a.m. Felt okay. We had a media day, so it didn't really matter how I felt in a sense. So we had breakfast. Went in. Went to the gym. Chilled for a bit. Actually got let into an actual gym in the UK. I went there, but they weren't gonna let me in because I don't have a UK debit card, and if you don't have that, you like can't like they don't accept cash or anything. But the guy just ended up giving me like free passes for like 6 days or whatever, and apparently he denied everyone else that went in after or from other teams. So I mean, what can you do, man? What can you do? But anyways, it was a pretty nice gym. It was really funny because like some of the dudes in there are like just I cannot understand a word they're saying. Like it's like a different version of English. Like you think of like an English accent. Well, you can still understand an English accent. You cannot understand these people. Like um, even some of the people that just work at stores, it's just like I don't know how to explain it. It's just so hard. It's so hard to understand them. Um, but yeah. Anyways, not talking shit or anything. It's like different. I didn't expect that. Um, So yeah, went to the gym, then we went and did our media stuff. Felt super strong in the UK actually. Like bench is usually my weakest. I did like I don't know, KG's a little bit different, so I think it's like two. I don't know what it is. It's close to 225, but it's like a little bit less because of KG, and it was just like easy. I don't know, just like never went up that fast in my life, so I don't know if that was like less gravity in the UK or something, but we'll see when I bench this week if it's just the UK or not. But maybe I'm getting stronger. Who knows? Anyways, so that was just like kind of like the media day. Then we went in. They had food for us. I was eating Nando's because you know getting 300 grams of protein a day is hard. Eating food that people provide you, it's like literally impossible actually. So you gotta like have some whey protein and like BCAs and buy like double chicken, double meat, everything, which adds up to you spending a shitload of money. But yeah, so got my food in, felt pretty good. I felt fine. We did media stuff. We had just done media the week before, well, except for Twist for ECS or for E League, sorry. So it felt pretty similar in that sense. Obviously, E League was a little bit bigger because they're a little bit more like professional in how they did it. But ECS is like really good too. Just shout out to all the staff and stuff. Like Sturmy is like super cool. All the staff that works there. Um, the Australian girls that were like kind of escorting us around and stuff. Super nice people. Just really, I don't know. Like sometimes people are like really like genuinely friendly, and I feel like all the staff was like actually friendly, not just like the fake friendly that you get just because you're working, which I don't care about either. I mean, you don't have to be like genuinely happy all the time. It doesn't bother me, but I feel like I can kind of notice it when people actually are. So, um, yeah, everyone there super cool. Then went back to the hotel, watched some demos of Australis. The thing is that we didn't actually think Australis would pick or let Cobble go in. I think that was a mistake by them. I actually, everyone kind of, for some matches, they like, no one watched the Cobble demo but me, because everyone just assumed that I said the maps I thought it would be. I thought it would be either Mirage, Cache, or Train. Those three. I didn't think they'd leave Cobble in there because it's our best map and they don't really play it that much. So I just thought it would be like they would just get rid of it, but I guess not. I don't know if that's an underestimate of us or they practiced it and felt good on it and just didn't happen to win. I mean, that's possible too. You can't always call people idiots just because they lost. I mean, if they felt good on it in scrims, they felt good on it. But I mean, just looking at it, it looks like a mistake by them. So I actually only watched it because one of the demos I had on Train in a best of three had a Cobble in there, so I kind of just threw in the demo, watched it. Not 100% like I watched the other games. Like, I mean, like I looked at what everything happened, but it wasn't as like in depth. But I definitely think it helped calling. CT side it helped a lot, just kind of like knowing their defaults and like where like the timings that they like to do things. So I think it helped me a lot, like just telling people how to play on CT, because notoriously we've been kind of bad on that map, CT side versus like Fnatic and people that are really good at splitting B. Anyways, we ended up winning that game. That was like a lot of confidence versus us. We ended up going into Fnatic match, which was also Cobble, funnily enough. I mean, I guess they had more of a reason to let it through since they just destroyed us 14-1 at E-League like a week ago on it. So I can't really talk shit for them leaving in there. I kind of knew they would. They're really good at Cobble. So this time we got to start T. We kind of gave them a little nice 9-6. We won CD pistols. So I mean, definitely the pistols um, carried us to 14, but we couldn't end up closing it. We kept getting pinched. Drop in upper B plat, and there was just we tried a lot of different things, and we just ended up losing. Nothing to say. Missed some shots, made some misplays, made some bad decisions. They played well. I mean, what can you say? It's Fnatic. They're good at grinding. I mean, yeah. I mean, it was a depressing loss. It felt like we had the match, But I mean, it's Fnatic. Fnatic's Fnatic. um, they're not just going to give you a win for free. Um, So lost that game. Everyone was like kind of a little bit sad, but at the same time, I'm like, yo, boys, like we just beat Australis. Australis plays C9 tomorrow. We can beat both these teams. We're to beat Australis. Obviously, we're kind of assuming that Australis is going to beat C9 at this point. Um, did more prep on Australis than I did for C9. Australis ends up beating or losing to C9. Sorry. Um, it's not like I was like super surprised, but I mean, yeah, a little bit. Um, didn't anti-strat C9 as hard as we did for like Australis, like I said. So the vetoes could have gone bad for us, but the thing is that they screwed up. Like when we were vetoing, they picked Cache instead of picking Overpass, which I think was a mistake because we don't really play Overpass. Like when I say we don't play map, like we've gone over all the maps besides Nuke. Besides Nuke, we've gone over every map and we have strats and setups and stuff. I'm just saying like what we played the most, what we're the most confident on. Definitely Overpass and Dust 2 are like not really high on the list. Like versus Dust 2, we're very confident on slow teams. Like honestly, playing a team like Na'Vi would be okay for us because I'm not saying we'd win per se, but I'm just saying like they play so slow and so methodical that um, they play so like. Dude, my back is still sore from yesterday a bit, but like the good sort. But I have to just crack it. I feel like the blood just it's like trapped in there or something. But anyways, so we end up playing them. They picked Cache, but in my opinion, they should have picked Overpass. Um, and like I said, we could have played Overpass, but it would have been like a much harder game for us. Would have been a bit more of a grind. We would have had to win like probably both pistols or at least ecoed them or like done some crazy like run of rounds. Like I don't think we would have grinded it like 5-5 or something and then like um Juan out or something, um, it would have been like a huge grind. Unless we just like won both pistols and just ran them over with like aim or something. But yeah, I definitely think that was a mistake by them. They picked Cache, which I guess everyone in NA kind of knows that we don't really practice Cache. Like that's the one map like we'll never say yes to it in a scrim because we're just like naturally good on it. So when we've been trying to like get more maps in, we just kind of leave Cache out of the equation because for some reason we're just like able to play everyone on Cache. Like it doesn't matter if we go over the map or not or practice it. Like we just naturally are like good. Like the way that I call on maps like Cobble and Cache, where people are good at not dying, where no one can give up an early death, it helps a lot. It helps a lot to call. It makes it much easier to call when no one dies. And I mean that might sound obvious, Oh well, obviously if no one dies, easier to call. But like, um, but even if people do die on these maps, like Cache and Cobble are maps where like even if someone does get picked, it's much easier to win around 4v5. Like on Overpass, if someone dies and it's 45, like these rounds are so hard. Like even if you end up like you honestly probably won't win the round 45 unless someone like miracles a bunch of shots, but you also won't get the bomb down. So on a map like Cache or Cobble, even if you end up 45, even if you lose a round, you can honestly probably get like 2 or 3 kills and get the bomb down, so your economy will be alright. And it helps a lot with like, just being able to force buy, being able to always have guns in your hands and always keep grinding people down in the ground. Whereas like Overpass, I have yet to learn how to really like utilize my style on that map. And Train, I used to have a problem with it too, the same way I did with Overpass, but I think I kind of figured it out on like, at least for me, how to call on that map with low money. So like this is always a process, right? I only started calling for like 2 or 3 weeks before MLG, so it's not like I've had a ton of time to really like strat everything and think about everything on every map. It's just been kind of prioritizing a couple maps to be good on, to be good enough on to get to these lands and to compete at these lands. But once we increase our map pool, then we'll be like way more of a force. But that's a process, so you can't expect it to happen overnight. So we're just trying to think long term and just slowly improve our map pool. I kind of want to play Nuke now. I think after like G2 and some of these teams have demos available for me to watch, it'll be nicer to scrim some people on it and just test it out. I always liked the old Nuke. I've always been a fan of Nuke and 1.6 and in Go, so I kind of want to play Nuke. So we'll see if we do or not. If my whole team hates it, they hate it, but that's the plan. So we played C9 on Cache. That went pretty easy for us. I think knowing players' individual tendencies helped us a little bit in that match. Pretty much everything went our way. Pretty easy win. Cache was one of those maps where like it's really easy to push on CT and cash people off and just like ruin their strats. So it's one of the reasons I think we're good at it without practicing it. Because like, is it really that hard to like do a triple B push or push A main or door? Like you don't really need to like practice that per se. You just go and try to get the kill. If you do, you do. Like it's not anything magical. Everyone knows how to play Cache. It's almost like the new Dust 2. Um, but yeah, so we end up playing that map and went our way. Then we played Train. We had a really solid CT side. We always have a pretty good CT side on Train. For some reason, like the players on my team, we just like are just good at CT. Like I don't know why. Like Sick and FNS are really good at just holding the outside rush. Me and Tim are like probably pretty effective. If he doesn't instantly die at inner, I'm not saying that he does often, but like as long as he gives me a little bit of time to get back to him at Z, because I cheat towards outside a little bit. We're like pretty good at like kind of playing retake almost, but unintentionally. Whereas like he's not. I'm always playing retake on inner. I'm never gonna be like in the site. Obviously, if I'm opping, maybe if I'm rifling, I'll go up closer sometimes. But he's kind of in a middle ground where he's always trying to get info and spot, which helps a lot. And he does have the potential to get killed, but it's not necessarily his fault. He's just like that's a style that he's giving our team that will give us good info. So as long as he gets like 1 kill, even if he gets 1 kill and dies, and I get 1 kill and I live, it's a 4v3, and then we're going to be retaking inner on train, so it's like not that hard to win a retake. So we're very good at like retaking inner, which is our strength, I think, on that map, and holding the outside rushes. Sick and FNS do a really good job of that, and then Twist is like just good at not dying at Ivy. Like, the nice thing about Twist is like he's really young and he's really skilled, but he's also really good at not dying. Like, um, people underestimate the power of just not dying. Like, if your spot's hard to hold, it's fine to not hold it if you just don't die. Like, if your spot's really hard to hold, cool, it might suck, but just give it up sometimes. And like Ivy's one of those that I'd rather someone give it up and me have to watch CT spawn backside with op than to just collapse with 0 kills and like let them just pinch outside everywhere. So he does a really good job there, in my opinion. I know he doesn't really like the spot, but I mean, someone has to play it, and um, I definitely think it's a little bit easier being able to rifle it. Although he does pick up an op every once in a while. So yeah, our CT side was really good. I think we made a lot of good adjustments, a lot of good pushes on inner, mid, and ladder and stuff like that. So yeah, Trans CT went about the way I thought it would. T side, I mean, honestly, we probably should have won easier than we did. I had to win a bunch of clutches, probably the most clutches I've ever won in my life in one game. It was just insane. Even the one I lost for Slemmy, my teammates told me he had like 1 health, and I took up my Glock, and so I mean, he turned out he had like 60ish or something. So I mean, it's whatever. Sometimes people think. I mean, I've definitely given out fake comms where I say that someone has like 1 health when he doesn't. So I'm not really like mad about that or anything. But yeah, won a bunch of clutches in that game. I actually hit like some really weird shots. Like, I actually after the Fnatic game when I was like 8 and 20, I was like my aim doesn't like feel off. Like when you're like doesn't feel like you're missing. It just feels like you're not killing people. And I switched to the Shoxy crosshair. Like I like change my settings or anything. I just switched to that little size 2 like little tiny dynamic like expanding crosshair. Then I just started hitting everything. Like even versus LG when we lost, I felt like I was hitting shots. So I kind of like that crosshair. I think I'm gonna keep using it. But I don't know. C9 got to feel it, I guess. And um, yeah, we lost a lot of dumb rounds. In my opinion, I said no and die a couple times, and people just kind of like. It's almost like we felt like we had won already, and people just got real hasty to just kind of like end it, like go and be a hero. And that's like a problem on our team is everyone. Sometimes people want to make like these hero plays, and sometimes our players are so talented that it'll work so well, but then when it really gets down to 14-14 and you try to make a hero play, then and it doesn't work out, then it's going to cost you the game potentially. So I think people just got too like hasty, lost some dumb rounds, got ecoed, ended up winning the game. Um, Everyone was like super stoked, guaranteed top four. So then we got to go home. I also did legs on that day, just out of clarification on the C9 day. Pretty sure that was key right there. Um, just um, 5 sets of 3 with 315, and then 3 sets of 8 with 250. All right, so just again, just nice leg workout in. Just really couldn't feel them that well. Maybe that's why you're sitting in a chair and you can't feel your legs, so you can only feel your hand. You can just only feel your hands because your legs are dead at this point. Um, but yeah, that's also high bar. Um, but yeah. Anyways, I don't even know why I mentioned that. I just do. So fuck you. Anyways, so then we also ate a lot of carbs. Also, insane amount of caffeine. So we have like a sports person on our team that kind of like gives us advice and stuff. And he basically said like if you drink a normal amount of coffee, it's not gonna do much because you're just kind of used to it. So you have to like double what you normally take, or stop drinking coffee for like a week or a couple days before an event, and then it will like affect you more. So I drank like 2 Red Bulls, like no sugar Red Bulls, and I had like a venti iced coffee and a little caffeine pill from like Animal Pump, if you know what that is. It's the little red caffeine pill. I took that. So I basically had like a ton of caffeine in me for a C9 game. Well, and the LG game, I did the same shit in that game, but I was just like so caffeinated. Like it was pretty insane actually. Like just like so focused. But I also take some other stuff like taurine and um, chromium and just some random. So I don't know if that helps at all, but whatever. Um, anyways, just saying what I did. If anyone wants to kill yourself trying it. So I did that. Felt pretty good. Then we had a break, or then we had to go home. We ate. I think I had Nando's again. Um, Went to the hotel. Always doing 3 scoops away before bed because of the travel, the protein. Uh, Animal cinnamon bun whey, just not good. It's not good. Like, do not recommend it. Like, they're not the animal brand, but just because I really like them. I like their YouTube channel, but just the flavor is awful. Just stick with cookies and cream. All right, just you're gonna get more gains this way because you're gonna want to actually drink the protein. Although I don't actually use protein powder at home, I mostly eat all my food: egg whites, beef, chicken, turkey, etc. I pretty much eat all of it and take just BCAs when I work out, but I don't really like whey unless, but it's like I feel like it's useful when you travel. Um, anyways, that's really off topic, I guess. But then we ended up going back to the hotel. I watched some demos on LG. Thing about LG is we kind of know how they play because we scrim them a lot. So the demos are more like just kind of like kind of just verifying what I already know. Honestly, kind of knew the vetoes were going to turn out bad, and we're probably going to end up having to play overpass because I know Fallen's not an idiot. Fallen knows that he's going to ban cash because they lose to us on cash, and that's their veto also. So I mean, like obviously they're going to ban it. Like that'd just be a bad idea, I think, for them to pick it or like leave it for me to pick because I would have picked it over Cobble. They ended up playing Nuke apparently, so I had to ban Nuke. I banned Nuke. He picks Overpass. Overpass or Dust 2 would have been both good picks by them. Um, I kind of figured they'd pick Overpass. I was thinking of actually banning it, but if you pick Nuke, that's like a guaranteed loss. Where Overpass, we still had like a little bit of a chance, although we ended up losing. It just, I know some people had off game, and we ended up like losing some dumb rounds, like usual. But in this map, it ended up being a lot worse for us. So Overpass is honestly kind of like a throwaway. I think anyone that watched the game kind of knew that we weren't like this was not a good map for us. Obviously, we need to expand our map pool. It's not an excuse. I'm just saying like this is where the vetoes really just like caught up to us and bit us in the ass. So Overpass, they just a better team on that map, 100%. Then we went to Cobble, and we had a really close game there, 16-14 loss. Um, I don't know. It was not as bad as the Fnatic game. It was more of a close game, more of a grind, back and forth. But they played well. They won all the really close key rounds at the end, and that kind of just pushed them over the edge. But I mean, they deserved it. They played great. Um, it felt like it would have been nicer to go to a third map, even if we lost. I would have liked to. I would have liked to play a third map and just like at least go lose 2-1 rather than 0-2. But I mean, what can you do? I mean, I think we're still like happy with how we did, getting fourth place and stuff. But it would have been nice to just like obviously make a finals, but still a new team, still not having a super set map pool. Um, we probably would have ran in the same problem if we played G2, even if we won versus LG. Um, we would have had to ban Nuke or Overpass, and they would have been able to pick one of the two, and they would have been a better team on both those maps on Nuke and Overpass. So um, the only thing I could maybe hope for versus G2 is that they don't know us as well as Fallen and LG do. So maybe they pick a better map for us. Like they pick a cache, or don't they're not sure if we play nuke or something. Like there's always that aspect that could play into our favor. But yeah, it would have been a hard game to beat G2, but I would have liked obviously to play them. But in the end, we end up losing, and yeah, it was a good run for us. Definitely can see a lot of improvements that we need to make. A lot of just a lot of errors in general, player errors, tactical errors, just a lot of errors overall. But I mean, that honestly gives me like a lot of hope, just because when you're losing a lot of rounds out of your own fault, it feels like if you fix the mistakes, whether they're my mistakes or they're the player's mistakes, it doesn't matter as long as they're corrected eventually within the next, like, 3 to 6 months. As long as we keep improving, expanding our map pool, solidifying what works for us, what doesn't. I think over time we've been improving. Like our T side Mirage used to be real bad. Our T side, um, like I said, I think I'm really good at calling on like Cash T side, um, Cobble T side, um, and then Train T side. I think I'm like getting a lot better at. I kind of like calling that map now. It's a lot more fun. Mirage T side has always been hit or miss for me. If I have, it's one of those maps where I think I just have to save a bit more, just because it's harder to win with low money on that map. So I might just have to bite the bullet in the future and do some more saves. But in terms of actual calling, I don't think I'm bad at calling on it. I just think like I require money more than I do on a map like Cobble. So that's something to take into consideration. Dust 2 is more like we just need to get more reps in, like playing the map. I think with Twist, we actually weren't that bad at Dust 2. Our problem is like people that do double pushes upper tunnels and they scrim us like off cat and stuff. Those are people that kind of beat us when I can't afford an op. Like if I have an op, I can control all of mid. I don't care if you're Guardian or not. Like it's not like an ego thing. It's just like when you have an op, people are not just always fighting you mid. Like they're not gonna like risk a death for no reason. They're gonna try to play it smarter. Um, and yeah, so I definitely think when I have an op, our T side is like very good, is very powerful. We play well, but when I have low money and ops can kind of like run around without fearing me being able to punish them, then that's when we end up just getting pushed all over the map and dying. And that's one of the reasons we weren't very confident with us too at this event. Didn't No one picked it versus us, but we also didn't pick it versus anyone. So we're gonna have to improve that map. Although it's not our worst map, I would have preferred people pick Dust 2 maybe over Overpass versus us. Besides C9, I think C9 has a good Dust 2, and I actually think I would rather play them on Overpass, but just because we know how they play, not necessarily that our Overpass is better than Dust 2. I just think they're actually good at Dust 2. Um, so yeah, that was basically the whole LAN. I mean, good experience overall. Had a late flight on Monday. We left at like 3:30. I hate Heathrow Airport, honestly. There's no airport I hate more. The lines are so long. They take forever, man. Like they really just take your whole life. So yeah, and then you go in the airport, it's like a mall. Like you're in a mall. They're just trying to sell you shit. So, anyways, I felt good. I slept the whole time. I stayed up pretty much the whole day. Figured there's no point of sleeping on the flight because when we get back, it's gonna be around like 5 or 6 p.m. So if I sleep on the plane, I'll just be sleeping in the middle of the day, which there's no point. I like to just keep my sleeping pattern like okay, and I feel like if you just sleep in the middle of the day, you're just gonna be like up all night, and just it's just like harder to fix it in general than just tanking it for a day. Um, Pretty jet lag getting back, but when I went to the gym, I still felt pretty good. Definitely think there's something about going to the gym when you're jet lagged that does something to you. I don't know what it is. Like I feel like I sweat more. Like I just get so sweaty. Like especially going to the UK, I was like drenched. Like the red TSM shirt was it was just so dark because it was just so much sweat. I don't know. Like all these weird toxins from the plane or something from a 10-hour flight just come out of your body. Like I don't know. And that's with me staying hydrated. I bring a 4 liter bottle of water. I buy 2 bottles of water. I fill them with 4 scoops of BCAAs. I have food. I have everything in my bag. I drink all of it. So like 6 liters of water. Um, Still dehydrated after you get there. Piss still dark as fuck when you get off the plane. So I don't know how to avoid this. I don't know if it's possible. I don't know how much more water I can drink on a flight. I mean, I'll try 12 liters next time. I don't know, but yeah. Anyways, that's just my experience at the event. But yeah. Anyways, see what the future holds in store. Knowing NA, our team will probably die. in the next week or two. Because why not? Why wouldn't we die when we start having success and start getting better? It'd probably make more sense, I think. Um, but yeah, I'm probably gonna go make some rice and chicken, and then go and do chess. So later, boys.